Hello and welcome to this edition of In Focus. My name is Zendy Garrido, and today we're going to talk about one of America's guiltiest yet most delicious pleasures, food. And with me is Raylynn Meimetis. Nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right, so you're a food critic, and my first question is, what was the first memory that you have about food? Anything to do with food and knowing that you had an opinion about it?
Food. The first thing, actually, I can go as far back as to remembering eating spinach in my high chair. That was probably my first thing I can remember because I like the canned spinach. They fed it to me because, you're a kid, you're a baby, whatever. But I actually really like the flavor, and I still really love spinach. So, yeah, that's the first thing I can remember, very first thing.
And growing up, because of your culture, you are
Part Greek.
Part Greek, you were exposed to a very wide variety of foods and textures growing up. What was that like?
Fun. Really fun. A lot of gluttony in that family for sure, because just food, everything's around food all the time. So we would have lamb a lot. We would have our spanakopita, baklava. My dad still makes it for Christmas every year. I started making spanakopita. We would do leg of lamb, and they call it the nectar. We would put this lemon oregano juice on everything, and potatoes. It's just really good.
So in a regular day, what is the one thing that you say today, I'm going to break my diet, I'm going to break the norm, I'm going to have something I don't usually have for breakfast? What would that item be?
For breakfast?
Yes.
Something with wheat. I try to stay away from it as much as I can, but it's kind of everywhere.
And we were talking about nutritious values on the foods that we're consuming the first time we met, which was the soft opening of Cabo Kitchen here in the city of Santa Ana, right by Santa Ana College. We were talking about food, nutrition and the guilty pleasures that come with food. What was your impression of the food at Cabo and things that you think we should eat more of?
I was so happy to have found Cabo, and it's right near me, so I'll probably be there a lot. But they try to source everything fresh, and it seems like kind of like a local. And there's a lot of fish involved. There's not like a whole lot of red meat, but they don't hardly have a lot of wheat things at all. They don't have a lot of sugary things. Their baklava is there. They do have some coffees there, but I think their focus is on good protein, good quality food, and also portion sizes being what it should be, and vegetables.
And speaking of other foods that are nearby, here in the city of Santa Ana in Orange County, we're known for our local cuisine, and I want to ask what your criteria is when criticizing an item or a place. You criticize the place as a whole, or you go by individual dishes?
I try and start with the whole. It's really an environment feel too, because I think that greed has a lot to do with why quality of food may be not so great. And just the focus is not so much as serving as it is on what they're getting. And so when I walk into a place, I want to feel like, I'm coming there to be served, and the food that I'm getting is made with a desire to serve, and it's a different quality. It's just totally different. You can walk into one place and feel like you're just being taken advantage of, and they'll just give you slop, whatever it is, because they know you'll eat it because it's fast, and you're conditioned to just eat and go. Whereas somewhere else you can go, like Cabo Kitchen, and it's just nice. You walk in and they know oh, we're here to give you something good for you, so you can go on your way and feel good. Yeah.
And speaking of trying to get food that's quick and available right on the spot, what are the fast food restaurants that you would most likely stay away from because of that same criteria?
Probably all of the commercial ones, all the ones we grew up with and love. I quit eating McDonald's 15 years ago. Unfortunately, Del Taco was the last one I kind of clung to, but when Jack in the Box acquired them about 2 years ago, I knew the flavor changed within 3 months. I could just tell something was different, the menu was different, the look was different, and I knew right away something was different. I found out another 3 months later what happened. I'm like, oh,
That makes sense to you at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So the fast food that you and I grew up loving during the late 90s, during the early 2000s, the fast food restaurants like Jack in the Box, McDonald's, they had a very specific flavor. Over the years, over the last 25 years, what is the main thing that you think shifted as far as flavor goes?
I think that we want to pump out everything at a fast pace for everyone to meet the masses' demand. I think that we as a culture have become a little greedy and selfish ourselves, and so because of that, we have fattened up our chickens with hormones. We've done all the things to the meat industry with our cows, the way we treat them, and then also with genetically modifying our vegetables. Like if you have an orange that's genetically modified and one that's not, it tastes like a shadow now that it's been so many years compared to the one that's real, and it just tastes different. So the quality of food's not good. I think the nutrients aren't the same, and our bodies are meant to consume natural nutrients, so we don't get all the things we should in our body to boost our immunity, to work with all the elements that are out there. So it kind of sucks, and we taste the difference. We taste it.
We taste it, and we also see it. I mean, growing up, my favorite sport was shooting seeds from my watermelon at anybody who was nearby.
That's fun.
I remember how big were watermelons when in the early 2000s.
Well, yeah.
And the last time I was at the market, they were beautiful, round, and a different color too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm colorblind, so I don't know what color that was, but there that goes. Well, we're gonna go ahead and come back with Raylynn in just a couple of moments. We're gonna go on break. You're watching In Focus in SAC News. We'll be right back.
To the scholarship program. Of course I did. It's free money.
Thank you. How about you? Have you applied for the scholarship program?
Yeah, I actually just made my friends apply.
That's good. Thank you. Excuse me. Have you applied for the scholarship program?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
I don't know how to.
Well, let's change that.
The Scholarship Foundation offers help to all SAC students, such as providing writing workshops to help students with the writing portion of the application.
I need a letter of recommendation?
Hey, don't let the letter of recommendation hold you back. A letter of recommendation can come from a professor or even a counselor. You shouldn't be afraid to ask for their help. Wow, you did it! Apply today.
Welcome back to In Focus. I'm Zendy Garrido, and today here with me, I have Raylynn Meimetis, local food critic. So we were talking about earlier about food ingredients, and one thing that changes when we change the way that we eat is our weight.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been through a weight loss journey. What was that like?
I've been through a couple actually. When I was 22, I weighed, let me see, it was like 200 and almost 70 pounds. And I thought either I'm going to go to college or I'm going to figure this whole thing out, because obviously I don't feel good, I'm unhealthy. And so I started there, and I knew that if I wanted to have kids, which I still don't have, that I, wanted to be healthy for them so I could play with them and all of that. So, but I learned slowly about macronutrients and, the balance of a calorie being protein, fats, and carbs. Instead of just having a program do it for me, I was learning along the way. So that way I don't have to have some kind of microwave program where if it doesn't work, I can't figure it out. But in the last year, I had 2 injuries, so I've actually gained 40 pounds through like a bunch of just emotional problems. But I know what to do to get it off. So now that I'm well enough to do so, I'm back at it as best as I can. Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy for you, and you got our support every step of the way. And now we're considering, I keep on talking about changing the way we eat, changing the ingredients, but what I want to know is, what is it that you cook and how you cook it? So you showed me, you sent us a couple of pictures, we're gonna play them on the monitor in just a moment, about the stuff that you cook, and it looks absolutely delicious. And
Thanks.
And that charcuterie board, let's talk about that board.
That board was my favorite board that I've ever made. I did it like about a year and some change ago, and I was on a date with my boyfriend, and he has not had a lot of different flavors, so I just wanted to bring everything I could, and it ended up being amazing because I think that the palate is just diminished so much without trying diverse flavor groups. So we put together all these different flavor profiles, and I think we only had like 7 bites of things, but it was amazing. But I think just being creative, not being afraid to try things, and you find that there's flavor combinations all over the place that we fuse together that are amazing. We have a big ethnic backyard right here, so
Absolutely. And let's talk about where you get your ingredients from. So whenever you're cooking at home, whenever you put charcuterie boards like the one that we just saw, where are you sourcing all these?
So I started just like out Ralph's, and then, but I go to Sprouts, Trader Joe's. There is an amazing restaurant and butchery in Orange called Goodies in the Pantry that I love. They get all of their stuff from, they're very privately sourced with Happy Foods. So I like going there, and they have a great menu too just for lunch. So I go there a lot of times also. But just to cook everyday things, it's usually Trader Joe's and Sprouts, and when I have time, I try to find a local farmer's market.
Now, number one poison for everybody, and I know I can safely say this for most of the staff here at SAC News, is sugars.
Yeah.
What do you do with your sugars that we can learn from?
Awareness is first, because it has such a overwhelming reaction to the body, inflammation. It's kind of like heroin in a sense, but also it just inflames everything. It makes the body sick, and free radicals. So cancer is kind of everywhere. It feeds it. So if you can stay away from it, and it's a temptation, just a would you rather, but also having a good community around you to support not having it. So if you're going to go to Starbucks, get a tea instead, or get something less sugar-free stuff. And even then, the chemicals in sugar-free stuff's not that great either. But if you stay away from it, you don't crave it as much.
Now, sugars, we find them everywhere you go, and you were just talking about Starbucks, which is the number one thing that I see most of the staffers here, students at Santana College. Occasionally I drink it, but when I'm not drinking that, I try to go for water, and I go for plain water, pH balance if possible. When we had way too much water, or when you had too much, what is it that you add to your water just to give it a little bit of a spice or kick to it?
Some lemon, just a little lemon, or slice up some fruit and some kiwi and strawberry and stick it in there, put it in your fridge in a pitcher, and then that's it. It's good.
And what are the going back to restaurants that you prefer, what are the 3 restaurants that you think residents here in Orange County and Santana should be eating at least once before they die?
Once before they die. Oh my goodness.
Before McDonald's kills us, I should say.
Well, Cabo Kitchen's one of them because that's brand new and it's amazing. So people definitely should try that out. I'm trying to think. I'm sifting through so many restaurants in my mind right now. Honestly, I'm not even sure. I don't even go out that much anymore. It's been so long since I've done anything like that. But I will say, if people can get a chance to go down to Laguna, I was just there. C'est La Vie has a really good French onion soup. It's awesome. And I think just getting away and packing your own lunch is probably the best thing you can do. Run to Sprouts and grab a few things and go get away. Sit in the grass somewhere.
That is actually a beautiful experience, and because of the hectic lives that we live here in Orange County, Southern California, we don't get to touch grass anymore. But that is beautiful, just to make yourself a sandwich at home and eat it under a tree during lunch hours. That is fantastic. Now, is there a place that you have in the near future that you want to review for your food criticism?
A place that I would want to review. There is a place called Orange Cafe in Orange, and they have kept the same recipes there for I think 30 years, but they were newly acquired 3 years ago. And I remember going there at the end of the pandemic, like in 2022, and I felt like they cared so much, like we were talking about earlier, about the quality of their food. And I have not really given them a full review of their menu. I've only been there once or twice. I'd like to go back and kind of revisit what they have, because I think they had a variety. Yeah.
All right, great. Well, that's all the time that we have today. I want to thank you for coming, hang out with us for a couple of moments.
Yeah, thanks.
And this is your show, In Focus. My name's Zendy Garrido. Don't forget to check us out on every single one of your social media platforms. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.